Hey, this is Joanna, and let me tell you about the top 5 reasons why you should hire a real estate agent. So, before I begin, I want to tell you that I've been serving the Greater Triangle area since 2012, and I have closed hundreds of transactions with people that have been moving, that have moved from California, Florida, New York, international, Australia, India. We've had clients from Germany. There's a lot of professionals moving to the Raleigh, North Carolina area. So, of course, I'm also from Romania. I understand that every country and every state has different rules, different regulations. And a lot of people say, well, why do we need a real estate agent in order to buy a house? We could just go directly to the seller. But each state is very different. And we take our collaboration and our partnership with both the sellers and the buyers very seriously. And so while we could just list a home and not work with home buyers, a lot of us love working with home buyers. And the value that we provide as real estate agents is, in my opinion, something that nobody will ever be able to negate. We have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars for our clients, negotiating with builders, negotiating repairs, getting their deposits back in case the sellers have misrepresented the home. It was a material breach. I could go on and on and on. So when it comes to why, just to be very quick in my answer and just to get you a skeleton of where we see things, number one and most important thing, you don't have time to represent yourself. You are busy with your family. You are busy with work. We are dealing with so many phone calls and so many text messages when it comes to your transaction. You don't even know. Sometimes we are on the phones at 9 p.m., sometimes at 7 a.m. If it's a multiple offer situation, the hardest thing to do is to make sure you get through to someone, to the listing agent. You get through and you make sure they understand who my client is, who you are, why are you moving to the area, or anything that you're allowing me to share with the other party, so that you have a chance of getting a home. So time is of the essence in today's market, where there's absolutely no inventory and there are multiple offers. Interest rates are still below 30-year average. Sellers are extremely in a great position. So to get them to move, it takes quite some skills, and you do not have that time at hand. You do not have the capacity unless you've been negotiating, right? So of course, if you are in that field, it's a completely different story. But every negotiation is different. Every listing agent is different. We know our craft and we know how to make these proposals on your behalf so that we can save you time, we can give you the peace of mind that you can be at work and not check your phone and your email 10,000 times a day trying to figure out if you can make out something of the document or if you can even close any sort of deal that is in your advantage. Not just a deal, but a deal that is in your advantage while you are preserving your personal information. They don't know too much about you. So it requires some skills. It requires understanding of the market, understanding of a specific neighborhood that you're in, right? So this is a game changer when it comes to hiring a real estate agent. And that would be my number one. So number one on my list is saves you a lot of time and it gives you the peace of mind. Number two, and I touched a little bit on that right now, telling you about the hundreds of thousands of dollars that we have helped our clients keep, save, get back, and so on. Negotiating on the price and repairs. I know that this could be completely different entities, but I'm going to put them all together into the number two, which is negotiations. Do you know how many people out there go into this as, again, very emotional, especially if they don't have an agent? They're already on overwhelm because there's multiple offers in most cases. They already need to provide the lenders a lot of information, so They need to have all of their documents together to make sure they're doing everything right. And now there comes time for negotiations. If you do not know too much about the home, about the area, right? This state that has cockroaches, it has termites, we might find some snakes in the crawl space from time to time. It is rare, but it's possible. There are all these things, polybutylene pipes, the siding. There are things that you might not be aware of because they're simply not present in your state. So when it comes to coming to North Carolina, negotiating on repairs and negotiating on that price with the seller is important because we can see the condition of the home to the best of our knowledge. We can address some things up front with you before you even write the offer and before you even deliver the deposit, the due diligence check. So we are already a step ahead of the game because we're checking things out in a way that you cannot check them out. So then we can negotiate the offer that we're putting on your behalf and also repairs. I will give you a very simple example. My husband was out with a client about 7 months ago, 7, 8 months ago or so, and he went up in the attic. Not only did he find a lot of things that were not supposed to be there, but there was an actual gas leak in the attic. What does that mean? The client, the seller, the listing agent, everybody texted and said, "Thank you so much. You literally saved our lives." So we presented an offer on behalf of our client. We made them aware of the fact that they have a gas leak in their attic. Most agents, and not all agents, are qualified to do these things. Not all agents are equal, right? So if you have had experiences with agents that weren't as extraordinary, okay, but we're not all equal. It's just like attorneys, it's just like a doctor. You pick and choose what doctor you're going to take your child to. We're not all created equal. We have different level of acknowledgement, of experience, of knowledge, not acknowledgement. So it's just very different depending on each individual agent and company. So that is important to know. Just the negotiations part, and then negotiating the due diligence fees, the earnest money fees, the repairs, closing, maybe closing costs for you so you can buy your rate down if that's what you want to do. There's a lot of things that are included in that negotiation, and generally from A to Z, from going under contract and even before going under contract to the closing date. So that is number 2. Number 3, I know this sounds interesting, and I've talked a little bit about it right now, is being objective. Being objective and not putting your ego ahead and not letting your emotions kind of just get the best of you. So we actually do see a lot of people get either overly excited about a house, and the house doesn't even match half of their main requirements just because, let's say, it has a beautiful garden. So there's a lot of things that you cannot be objective on just because, again, you don't really know what to look for when it comes to certain things or certain issues that the house has. So maybe it's a lead based paint addendum, maybe it's a crawl space or some cracks in the foundation. Certain things, you don't even see them. You don't see the power lines in the back. You don't really see a lot because you're in love the moment you enter the house. So we are there to be objective, and we're there to bring you back to yourself and say, all right, let's see. What is it that we need in a house? Is this a need? Is this a must-have? Why are you in love? These are the items that you might have to deal with after. And after the love is gone and you go, oh my God, I need to put $50,000 in addressing all of the windows, in changing the water heater, the HVAC, whatever the situation is, it's a back to reality sort of game. And I want to let you know that being objective and knowledgeable really helps when it comes to hiring a realtor. All right, number 4, handling the paperwork. Like I said initially, you don't have time for that. and the paperwork can be extensive. So here in North Carolina, we don't actually work with a title company, we work with an attorney. So we work with the attorney, we work with the lender, we work with you. We make sure that the documents, the appraisal, the offer, the addendums, the everything is put in place, and these documents are updated continuously. Every year there's new documents coming out. So you need to make sure that you have someone on your side to create all those documents, to make sure that everyone signs accordingly. Do you know that just one simple signature and one simple initial, or a wrong initial somewhere else, might actually make a contract void? It's actually not a contract if it's one initial missing. And a lot of people think that they're under contract just because they have a verbal agreement. It's not the case. You need to have a written contract. Everyone is to sign, all the parties involved. Now, you might be buying from entities. You might want to buy a foreclosure, a short sale. Whatever the case is, the paperwork can be extensive. So you, in my opinion, definitely need to have someone to help you with that paperwork. And number 5, which is very, very important in my opinion, is the market conditions. So knowing the market conditions and being able to express them to you accordingly. So in Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, things are very different from neighborhood sometimes to neighborhood, subdivision to subdivision. If you buy something that belongs to a great school, you might find 10 offers, and the home 3 streets down might not belong to the same school, and you have a completely different game when it comes to negotiating. So the market conditions change often. The inventory, we have access to all this. We can tell you this is the appreciation, this is what's been happening in this neighborhood for all these years. And you need to know that, because the market is just fluctuating, right? So just like in stocks, you're not going to have the same attitude, the same behavior all the time. So those things change. And I think that's pretty much what I would definitely tell you to keep in mind. So you got to have someone to negotiate for you and save you a lot of money. You gotta have someone that's objective. You need to have someone that's knowledgeable and knows the market, right? So documentation, preparing everything, saving you time and giving you the peace of mind. So I think that these are extremely important things to keep in mind when hiring a realtor. And regardless of what's going to happen with the rules, with legislations, with whatever the case is, why would you want to risk such a big investment by not hiring someone to be on your side? I would love your comments below. I would love to know what you think. If maybe you've had a bad experience with an agent. I understand, it happens to all of us. I've had bad experiences with dentists. I've had bad experiences with my children's teachers, and I'm moving on. I'm looking at perspectives, I'm trying to understand, but ultimately we're all human, and we're here to give each other the support needed. We're here to make sure that the other individual that works with us, whether it's a client, whether it's an attorney, whether it's a lender, whatever, the vendor, an inspector, right? They all have a beautiful relationship, and things are done with joy, and it should be a beautiful process. And nobody can change my mind when it comes to that. So thank you for watching my video. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Please subscribe. Please comment below. It really helps. It is a small channel. We are a business-owned company, and we've been serving the Greater Triangle area for a very, very, very long time. And we'd love to have you on our side. We'd love to help you with your home purchase if you're considering relocating to the Raleigh area. So until then, please feel free to connect us and like, subscribe, comment, ask us anything. We'd be more than happy to help and be on your side on your journey to buying a property here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and in the surrounding areas. Take care. Bye.